Hey guys, welcome to this video. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley, for those of you who don't know. Today I'm going to be talking about what it's like to live in Salt Lake City, Utah. And normally on my channel I post about fitness and health, but I thought I would deviate just a little bit. And because I did a video like a year ago, I think even longer actually, like a year and a half ago, before I moved out here. And I did a vlog showing you guys just like the road trip we took to come out here, me and my boyfriend, and apartment hunting. And a lot of people have watched it. I've actually gotten quite a few questions about what it's like to live here. And there's a lot of assumptions that are made, a lot of ideas about what it's like. I think people think that they'll come out here and they'll just see like sister wives, like the old-timey clothing walking around. And that's really not the case. I'm going to kind of list some pros and cons. I'm going to try to keep this video as organized as possible. But of course, I'm just going to kind of share. It's going to be kind of a little chit chat. I'm going to be talking. So get some kombucha. Or some tea, or just something to drink. Get something to eat. Let's hang out. I'm going to share with you guys what it's like to live here, pros, cons, my thoughts, etc. Like I said, there are no sister wives walking around. As a matter of fact, Mormons don't have sister wives anymore. So first thing I'm going to say, Mormons are not polygamous anymore, guys. I feel like that's common sense, but I don't even think I knew they used to be before I met my boyfriend. Like, I didn't even know it was a thing until my boyfriend and I started dating. I was like 18, and I found out that like Mormons used to be polygamous and now they're not. And yes, there are people who live out in Utah who are polygamous, but they're in hiding. You're not going to notice them. I mean, I guess you might, but like, I don't know. They're not like public walking around because it's legal. So yeah, Mormons don't have multiple wives going on. The second thing I hear is that you're going to see them everywhere, that you're going to notice them. And in my opinion, especially in Salt Lake City. So if you live in suburbs, if you live in other cities that aren't Salt Lake, or maybe like outlying areas of Salt Lake City, yeah, you're going to see more religious people, and you're probably going to notice it. You're going to notice how they're dressed. They're going to seem more conservative. You know, their body language, the way they speak, you'll notice. You'll pick up on it. However, in Salt Lake City specifically, you probably won't notice it as much as you think you will. Yes, if you're downtown near the temple and Temple Square, yeah, Mormons are going to be there because it's their temple. If you are in Sugar House and walking around, you probably won't notice anybody, or at least you won't be 100% sure. And I mean, it really isn't as ingrained in the culture in that way as people think it is. I think people think, it seems that people think that when they come out here, they're just going to see them everywhere, and it's a big deal. I have so many friends that make comments and jokes, and to be honest, yes, they are here. Yes, it's a part of the culture here, but it doesn't really affect me, at least in the way that I think people perceive it to be. It doesn't affect the way people perceive it will. And if you come out here, you'll notice that it's just a city. There's just people everywhere. So I'm going to tell you guys that what I like about living here. And I like the fact that it is very outdoorsy. The mountains here are beautiful. They're everywhere. Like, it's all around. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen like stuff on my like story or pictures on my Instagram of the view from my apartment or me walking around. And the mountains here are so beautiful. There are trails really close by. There's really good hiking. And we have so many national parks. I still have yet to go to Zion National Park, but Zion's here. You have Bryce Canyon. There's Goblin Valley. There's just so many things to go check out if you're an outdoorsy person. I really like getting into running in the summer. The weather is so great here. And so there's really good parks. There's Sugar House Park, Liberty Park. And I love going to the park to go on runs. I take my dog there so she can run around. And the weather is so good in the summer. The sun is usually out until about like between 9 and 10 in the summer. Some nights obviously later, but I would say between 9 and 10, and it is amazing. You have so much daylight, and it is sunny all day. It is warm. I would say the temperature is between like, I don't know, like maybe like 90s on average, but it does hit the 100s. But I find that it doesn't get too hot for the most part. We're going to the next topic. I'm really hungry. There's also Park City, which is like 25 minutes away, so you can go skiing and snowboarding if that's your thing. And it's really close, and so a lot of people who live here are very outdoorsy. They like running, skiing, snowboarding. That's a huge part of the culture here and the vibe. So it is a city, but it is a smaller city. And a lot of people think that it's very conservative here. In Salt Lake in general, I would say it definitely leans more liberal. You have a lot of people who have left the church here, the Mormon church. You have a lot of people who are part of the LGBTQ community. And so I would say it's a lot more liberal, a lot of young people, a lot of transplants, especially people who've come here who weren't ever Mormon to begin with. So there's a lot more people like coming over here because of the great weather and the outdoors activities and the affordability, and also the universities. A lot of people coming out here for like their bachelor's or master's programs, and so when I see people coming in, it's actually a lot more liberal and hip and young. My sister has come out here, my brother, I've actually got a few friends, family members come out here, and I think they were all kind of expecting it to be one way or another, but they realize that it's just actually a really pretty city, and it's like really nice to be here and relaxing to be here. My sister loves coming to visit, and yeah, the Mormon culture really doesn't affect you here as much as people think it's going to. Like I said, you don't really just like see people walking around and you're like, oh, Mormon, like, I don't know. If anything, what I've noticed about the culture here, it's the fact that non-Mormons are very salty, and I understand why, rightly so. I mean, the religion in general, not getting too much into it, it tends to be very oppressive and restrictive, and a lot of people who have left have a really, really hard time transitioning into life outside of the religion. A lot of people lose their family, their friends, and it can be a really rough transition emotionally. And so, I mean, the depression and suicide rates here are very, very high because of it. You can always find somebody who has something negative to say about Mormons here, and I find that that aspect is more prominent and noticeable. The people who are upset by something that Mormons have done, or the culture, or how much it affects the city, or whatever, that affects the culture more. I notice that a lot more than like Mormons themselves. So I think some of the biggest things that people talk about is alcohol and bars, and that's because Mormons don't drink. They're really not about it. So people are like, oh my gosh, like, can you even drink there? Are there even bars? Yes, guys, there are bars. There is a nightlife scene, but if you're huge on nightlife, if you're from LA or New York City or like Las Vegas and you're used to like having a big nightlife scene, you love going out, I'm gonna say this is not the city for you, because the nightlife here isn't anything fantastic. Bars do close, I think, at 1. Some might close at 2, but they stop serving alcohol. Well, they have to stop serving at 1, but a lot of places will like do last call at like 12:30 or 12:45. So a lot of people don't like that here. But yeah, the bar scene here, nothing fantastic. There are bars and like good breweries here. If you really want like good beer, you can find it here, but it's not gonna be the same thing as if you were partying in LA, for example. It's not the same thing. So if you're expecting that, like, yeah, that's what's up. Beyond going out to bars, if you want to buy spirits or wine, you have to go to a liquor store. They do not sell it in grocery stores, which sucks because Trader Joe's has the best and the cheapest wine, and Trader Joe's here cannot sell wine. So yeah, you have to go to a liquor store, and liquor stores do have limited hours sometimes. You know, they're only open until like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. I think it's at least 10. If you get off of work at 11 o'clock and you want to get some beers, well, actually you go to the grocery store for beer. Cut. I want a bottle of wine and I don't have it at home. You can't go get any, in other words. So you have to kind of plan ahead, stock up a little bit. But for me, it doesn't affect me really because I don't drink very often. It's not a huge part of my life. I really just don't care. I will go out for a drink or two every once in a while with friends, or have a bottle or two of wine in the house in case I want it, but it's just not a big thing to me. I don't really care. I don't drink often. So if you're someone who likes having alcohol, you're really big into like making drinks and having wine, this may not be the best date for you. You can definitely get by it, like if you just buy everything in advance, you'll be totally fine. But I know that does frustrate a lot of people, so I'm bringing it up. Coffee. People assume that there is no coffee here, probably no coffee shops, that there's no good coffee. And I'm here to tell you guys that is completely false. As a matter of fact, Salt Lake City has such good coffee. I came out here and tried a few different coffee shops that were highly rated online off of Google, and I was so impressed. And if you guys actually want me to talk about that more in detail or give you suggestions, I can like tell you guys the places I recommend. Just let me know down in the comments. I came out here and I was like, there's cocaine in this. Which, why else you drink coffee except for to feel like you're on cocaine? On cocaine? Done cocaine? Anyways, guys, the coffee here is amazing. I definitely have my favorite shops, but right within like a 5 to 7 minute radius of my house, there's at least like 3-4 coffee shops that are so good that I like going to. So if you think you're gonna come out here and the coffee isn't gonna be great, you're gonna have a hard time finding coffee. Nope. All the people who are transplants here or non-Mormons, they made sure that they would have some dank ass coffee. And so there's a lot of competitors, a lot of shops that have popped up that really take pride in getting really good beans and roasting them the right way. And there's even shops that like roast their own beans every morning and then they grind them right when you're there and then they make you your coffee. People who still drink Starbucks, I'm not saying that I never drink Starbucks or that I'm like, you should never drink it, but like, it shouldn't be like your normal go-to. Like, it shouldn't be your everyday coffee shop. Like, why would you have like Starbucks all the time when you could have something like so much better. Like if they're not roasting your beans for you in the morning and then grinding them right when you order and making it for you fresh right there, why are you paying for coffee? Don't go to Starbucks anymore. You can find something better. You can. There's a university here, and a lot of people come out here to do their bachelor's or master's programs. It's very close to downtown. There's a lot of good restaurants downtown, and honestly, I'm gonna say actually, if you're over here, go to the Pie for pizza, and they have vegan and gluten-free options and vegan wings that are the best. Along with that, downtown is really, really clean. When I first was visiting here, that's what really stuck out to me. I loved how clean downtown was. And in the summer, it's just really nice here. I think the biggest thing that would keep me from staying permanently is the fact that the winters are really cold. And I'm from a mountain town where it snows even more than it does here. But it's colder here, and honestly, it's just kind of ugly. The sun isn't out very often here, and the inversion is terrible. It just gets really muggy and overcast, and honestly, it affects me a lot more than I thought it was going to, or that I realized it was going to. And a lot of people who haven't experienced it don't really get it, but if you live in a place where it's like overcast like crazy in the winter, it sucks. While downtown is really clean, like I just mentioned, the only thing I have to go along with that or add to that, that's kind of a con, is the homelessness population or the homeless population has really increased here, especially over the past year and a half. I really noticed there's more people walking around in downtown and even seeping into other neighborhoods. There is quite a drug problem here, and I'm not just talking like weed, I'm talking like hardcore, like narcotics and stuff. And it's really sad to see, but it is becoming more prominent. You're seeing a lot more people asking for money that are passed out on the ground in downtown. So it's a really clean downtown area, especially compared to other bigger cities. But, you know, there is a lot of homelessness that is becoming a bigger and bigger problem, unfortunately. So guys, those are just some of the top things I can think of off the top of my head about living here. It's a nice place to live. It's very outdoorsy. The weather during the winter sucks, in my opinion. I've never really had a huge problem with winter until living here. I've had people say like, oh, well, you have to find good things to do, or just get outside, or, you know, go snowboarding. And like, yes, you can do that, but even getting outside doesn't change the fact that it's super muggy outside. And I'm used to snowboarding. Well, not that I snowboard, but I'm used to being outdoors while it's snowing with the sun out. So that's a big deal to me. But the weather here in the summer is really nice. The farmers markets, getting to go up to like some of the cute little restaurants downtown. And it's pretty dog friendly here. So if you have a dog, I feel like it's a pretty dog friendly city. There's dogs ever walking around. A lot of apartments allow pets, at least from what I noticed in my apartment search. I would say on average an apartment, like a 1-bedroom apartment, is about $1,000. Obviously that can go up, it can go down, depending on where you live. I do live closer downtown, so it does get more expensive the closer you go to downtown. But yeah, you can definitely live here for pretty cheap, at least compared to like other cities. People are always like, it's not. There's people who live here who are like, oh my God, it's getting so expensive. And guys, everybody in every city thinks it's getting so expensive. That's what I've noticed. Like, it doesn't matter where you are, people are always like, oh my gosh, it's getting so expensive here. And it's like all relative, honestly, because it depends on what you're used to paying, where you're from. Anyways, that's it. Guys, I hope I answered some of your questions and assumptions about Salt Lake City. It's honestly a chill place, a lot of young people. It's really chill. There's good coffee. You can actually get good beer here. There are some downsides and like restrictions like with laws and stuff, but it's not a huge deal. In my opinion, it's really not that big of a deal. So that's it. If you have any other questions you want me to answer, specifically about Salt Lake or living here or how to move here, or just like tips to move in general, because I've moved quite a bit, I can give you guys some of that info. Just let me know though. Leave your comments down below, your questions down below. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe. That way you can see my next videos. I have new videos coming out every 3 days. And if you can take the time to just like the video, it really helps out. It allows more people to see this video and my other videos. And I really appreciate you guys watching this. I hope it was entertaining, and I will see you in the next one.